Hi people, you're welcome to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to draft, cut and sew a female shirt with the collar. Okay, so this is the borderline I'll be starting with, and I'll be measuring the length of the shirt. This depends on you, so I'll be using a length of 26 inches plus 2 inches for hem allowance. Okay, so it depends on how tall, so the shirt will actually sit on my bum. Okay, so now I'll be measuring the button stand. Altogether is 3 inches, so I'm only marking 1 inch to show you how to go, because we're going to be folding it over 1 inch, you understand? So but altogether is 3 inches. So in the course of the video I will show you how to do the folding properly. Okay, so connect the lines together, and the next thing, now we go ahead and measure work on the shoulder. We'll measure 3 inches for the neck width and 7 inches for the shoulder length plus ½ inch for ease. Then you come down by 1 inch. This is for your shoulder slope. You know the shoulder is not just flat. Okay, then I'll measure my bust point, which is 10.5 inches. Then the waistline 17.5 inches, and I'm going to connect them like so. Then in order to create the armor curve, I'll measure my upper chest line, which is 1½ inches from my bust point. I know there's a measurement for measuring this, which is your bust round divided by 6 plus 1.5. So that is what I use in calculating this armhole now that I'm creating. So yeah, I've been putting in the measurement for my bust round. So this is 8½, and the measurement for my waist round, okay, I think about 7½ or something. Then my hip round, that's what I'll be fixing on the hem line. My hip round will be 10 inches. Okay, so these are my actual body measurements, and I'm going to connect them together like so. Then I went ahead to add 2 inches allowance, 2 inches allowance for the seam allowance. Okay, then for the neck depth, I'm also using 3 inches. So my neck measurement for front pattern is 3 inches by 3 inches. Okay, it's a shirt, so there's no point of extending it beyond this. Then I'll be creating the armhole. Whatever I have on that armhole, I'll divide it by 2, then come down by 3/4 inch in order to create the armhole curve. So this is the armhole curve. Okay, so now for the back, I'll be using the same paper. So I measure 1 inch for the neck depth for the back. You can use 1 inch or 1½, but I'll be using 1 inch. So I have to label it, that's the back. Then also the armhole for the back is not going to go in. Just create a smooth curve like that. And because of this joining, I have to cut the back measurement first, the back pattern first. Then at that side of the hem, I went up by 1½ inches in order to create this curve. It's just to give you the good finishing at the hem. So this is what we have. So now for the button stand, I'm going to mark the 1 inch like I said. So I only roll it out to make it for easy understanding. And this is going to be folded 1 inch first and again. So as it is like this, this is the button stand. Then you decide how you want your buttons to be. So I'm just representing the button by the dotted lines. Okay, so maybe around 4 inches, 3 inches, 5 inches apart for your button. So go ahead and cut out the fabric. So I'll be cutting out the back pattern first. So because of that, I have to fold in the whole of the button stand in order for the fabric to be at the actual center front, which is going to stand as the center back now. Okay, so remember to secure it properly with pins rather. Then I'm going to cut out the neckline for the back first. Then go ahead and cut out the other part carefully, please. And remember to put your fabric on fold. That's the first thing. The fabric will have to be on fold. Okay, so now in order to cut the front, I'll now cut out the front neckline properly, and also the armhole curve for the front. Then you also secure it properly with pins, or any other way you can secure your fabric, the paper to the fabric properly. Then also cut it out carefully. So now remember, the fabric will also be on fold, and the center front will be open, but the center back is closed. And I also notch where my button stand is starting from, or it will end, so that when folding I will know how to go about it. So the fabric, the front and back looks alike, so that's why I need to chalk the wrong side of the fabric to avoid confusion. Okay, so you fold it first. This is directly on the fabric now. Then you fold again until you reach the point where I marked, which it will be the end of the button stand. Please just watch the video carefully. It's easy. So then I'll secure it with a pin, or with some pins rather. Now I'll do the same thing for the second shirt. Then this one, you make sure you fold on to the inside of the mat of the fabric. That's the wrong side. Okay, so this is it. Then you go ahead and top stitch on both end of it. Okay, just the way I illustrate with my hand now. Top stitch with both side, on both side. So when we are done, the front is going to be like this. Then you pick up the back. So it's going to be right side to right side, and you join it at the shoulder with whatever joining allowance you use. It could be half, yeah, or 3/4. Depends on what you use. So I've joined mine. I joined at the shoulder and also at the side. You can see. So the next thing now, in order to create a collar, we have to measure around the neckline from one button stand to the other. That's from one edge to the other. So this is about, I think I use 17.5 for this. So on the paper, I'm going to find midpoint of that 17.5. So I think it's about 8 3/4. So you draw a straight line first, a straight line, then measure the half of that neckline that you measured. Okay, then at this side, I went up by ½ inch. This is to help me raise the collar. Then I also find the midpoint of this 8 3/4. Whatever it is on your tape roll, you mark it. Then you connect the part I raised by ½ inch to this midpoint. Then I'm going to measure 1 inch all through. So this particular one is a collar stand. Okay, and it's also the one we use for bishop collar. Okay, but for a shirt we call it the collar stand. So this is what it looks like. This is the collar stand. Then we're going to now draft the main collar. So if you like, you can just draw it directly on this collar stand, or you go up by some inches. So I draw the same straight line, measure the same 8 3/4, but mostly you can go in by 1 inch. I mean, the main collar should be reduced by 1 inch from the collar stand. But I think this video I use the same measurement, but still give me the same results. Then I went up by, for the height of the collar, I'll be using 2 inches. It is 2 inches. Can use 2 inches, 1.5, or 2.5 inches. Depends on how wide you want it to be. And I also find the midpoint of this also. Okay. Then I'll be connecting. So first I connected with dotted lines. You'll see why. So now at these 2 inches, I go up by 1 inch. Then at that 1 inch, come out by another 1 inch. So now from the extension, you will now connect it to the midpoint. Okay, remember the way we'll go about this. Go up by 1 inch, then come out by 1 inch, just to create that extension on the collar flap. Then you connect it this way. So you can go over it again for proper understanding and blend that side to exclude any sharp edge. Okay, so this is what we have. Then we'll cut it out carefully. Then when you're cutting this on the fabric, make sure your fabric is on fold. Okay, then you're going to cut two pieces. That means you're cutting your main work and the lining together. So this is it. My fabric is on fold. Adjust it properly and secure it with some pins. Then remember to add ½ inch joining allowance all through. Then the same one also, we're going to be adding ½ inch. Then take note of the part that is on fold. The part that is sealed up, that will be the back. Okay, so I'm also cutting out the lining now. Then remember to notch which part is up and which part is down, so that when you apply. Okay, so this is it. I've applied my interfacing. I use SD. You can use any stay of your choice or any interfacing of your choice. And this is a collar stand. You can see that sharp edge there. So please, I think it's an error from the cutting, so you have to trim that part out to avoid that sharp edge. It's supposed to be smoothly curved. You can see, so I've trimmed it out. Okay, so collar aside, now let's work on the sleeve. So I'll be drafting the basic sleeve. So I'll just like to go over this again. So the length 11 plus 2 inches. So for the M. Now the cap's height, I'll be using 4 inches. And you know cap's height is your bust round divided by 12 plus 0.5. That's the cap's height. Then on the cap's height, I'm going to measure my armhole. Okay. And my armhole is 7.5. Then 1 inch for seam allowance. Then from the actual armhole, I create this slanted line. Find the midpoint of that slanted line. This is to guide you in drawing your curve, your armhole curve. So this is it. So this is one of the ways you can work on your sleeve accurately. Then my sleeve round, I think I'm using 13, so that'll be 6.5 plus 1 inch for seam allowance also. So this is it. So when drafting, and another thing is I'll measure whatever I have on this curve and cross-check with what I have on my fabric. That means they already joined fabric at the armhole. So this is it. Then also while cutting this, make sure your fabric is on fold and cut it out accordingly. This is it. No extra joining allowance. You've added everything to the pattern. So I cut 2 for each side. And back to the collar stain. Remember I said I'm fixing the interfacing. Interfacing is just to help it to be firm. Okay, so this is the collar. I've joined it together. I joined the side and the upper part. So the part that is open now is the part that is going to be joined to the bishop collar or the collar stand. So you have to align it. Look at the way I fix it. But make sure everything is right side to right side. The collar stand is on the ground. The joint collar is on top. Then you cover it. That means the joint collar will be in between the collar stand. Then you stitch on ½ inch or whatever allowance you use for your joining allowance. But I think ½ inch is okay. And this is it. So you sew ½ inch at the base and also at the side. So I've joined it now. This is what it looks like. So now we're going to be attaching this to the collar, onto the shirt. So make sure to locate the midpoint of the shirt. And for me, where there's interfacing is a part that is going to be attached to be on the inside of the fabric. I don't know if you understand, but that will be the part that will be resting on my skin directly. So first I'll start the sewing from the inside of the shirt. You understand? The right side of the collar to the inside of the shirt, you attach it together. Then you stitch it on half. Okay, so you stitch it carefully. Remember I said I'm starting from the inside. Now you now turn to the right side of the shirt, which should be at the back. Then fold in 1/2 inch, which is our joining allowance. So I prefer to secure it with some pins, okay, in order to ensure stability. So this is it. Because while sewing, it might start shifting. Okay, so you top stitch carefully. So as you're approaching each pin, you'll be removing the pin. Okay, so you stitch it carefully, just this way. So that last end, you might want to be careful in case it's thick. Just go by carefully. So this is what I have. You can see the top stitch is neat and the inside. So all the seams from the collar is enclosed. It gives it a good finishing, you can see. So now to the sleeve. So I first did the hem. I folded 1 inch, 1 inch, that's 2. Then you measure your sleeve round. So that I'll be using 13, so that's 6.5. Then at the armhole part, I measured 1 inch. Then you stitch it straight. You connect the two. Okay. Then you do the same to the second one also. So I notch the center of the upper part. Then I prefer to start attaching mine from the seam allowance, the joining on the armpit to the joining on the sleeve. You will now take it all over, but make sure the line underneath align. You understand? The joining on each one, make sure it's aligned. Then you stitch on 1/2 inch. So as you do this, you do the same thing for the second sleeve also. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up. And if I yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. So this is it. Okay, this is the end result. This is the shirt. You can see how beautiful it's looking. So I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. Okay, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye.